should come off easily. So here comes off your turbo. Be careful to remove it off. So these are all the parts of a turbo, and I've shown you completely how you can open a turbo. And the similar way you have to fix it, just be gentle and careful, and there will be no problem. First, I've heard that the seals have worn off. So these are the seals. They prevent mobile oil from going inside the turbo, both on the exhaust side and the intake side. So these are the seals. So viewers, welcome back again to JMC Garage, and as you can see, this video is made specifically on the turbo of a vehicle. So the turbo of all the vehicles are same, but this is a Hilux 2KD motor and this is the turbo. So this video is gonna be very helpful for DIY guys like me and you guys, because there are many less guides on how you can open a turbo and what is inside a turbo and complete that process. So in this video I'm gonna show you the entire process, what is inside the turbo, how you can open it, and what parts are needed to you restore it. So this turbo is alright, but it has a little bit of play in it, so that's why we are going to open it. I'm going to show you how you can open it. I have loosened everything already to make it easy for the video, so I'm going to just show you what you have to do to unbolt the turbo. So first of all, this is the mobile line that comes with the turbo. To cool the turbo, I'll show you all the process later, but there are two bolts on downside of the turbo. I've already opened them, so I'm going to show you them. So this is one, and there was the other one which has already been opened. First of all, you have to open these two bolts, then you have to release the this is the vacuum valve, the pressure valve. We have to release its stick, so I've already released it. Then you have to open the turbo. So I'm gonna now show you how you can open the turbo. So I've already loosened it up, so it will be pretty easy. So as you can see, this is a bolt. I'm gonna open it up. So here you go. So after opening it, this is basically a clump, similar as a clump that is used with the radiators and everything else. So you have to just pick it up like this and it comes off. So I've already loosened it, so it comes off easily. So here comes off your turbo. Be careful to remove it off. So here's our turbo, and if you have to open it completely, you can do it. And there are three bolts on the exhaust side, and the silencer is also connected to the turbo. So if you have to repair the turbo, you just basically need to open the cold side, because there is nothing else in the hot side. So this is the hot side of the turbo, and this is the everything else in the turbo. So now let's go open it now let's go inside and dismantle it and show you guys that what is inside this turbo. So viewers, now we are inside the garage, and now we are going to just open the turbo. I'm going to show you what you have to do to open the turbo. You just need basic tools to open a turbo. Just some specific tools is a star key. You need a star key to open the either bolts of a turbo, and other than that, mostly the normal tools are enough to open a turbo. So now I'm going to show you what you have to do first, and I'm also going to tell you what these parts do. So first of all, we need to remove the cover, the cold side cover of the turbo. So this is the cold side cover of the turbo, and this is the main body. So we are going to remove it. I have already loosened them up. You need, there are different bolts for different turbos, but usually the size are the same. But this is the 8 size, what do you call it? I don't know, there are the different language for different countries, but we usually call it a boti here in Pakistan. So this is the 8 size, and I've already loosened them up so they come off by hand. So you have to remove all of them. There are 5 of them, and on this turbo they may vary from different turbos. So I have opened them up. Here you go. So here you go. I have removed the bolts. Now what you have to do is separate the cover from the turbo. So because I have opened it up before, so it will come off easily. Otherwise you have to hammer it a little bit. So make sure that you hammer it with a carefully and softly with a rubber hammer if you have it, and if the turbo is stuck very much, then you can use an iron one. So I have opened it up already, so it will come off easily. There won't be a very much of a problem. You can hammer it like this, and it will come off. So here you go. As you can see, the turbo has been apart. So this is the main side of the turbo. The other part that is attached with the engine is the exhaust side. That is also not the main side, and this is the actual turbo. Other than that, these are just the covers. This is for the cold side, and that one was for the hot side. So let's keep this aside for a while, and I'm gonna tell you what this thing does. So basically what this part does is that it supplies cold air to the engine. The wheels are spinning inside. It gets air from the air cleaner through there, and from here it supplies the air to the engine. So other than that, this is another part that is attached to every turbo. So what this is the pressure release valve. When the over pressure, the excessive pressure is bled through this valve. So there's a pipe. It goes mostly into the intake or the vacuum for the brakes, depends on engines. So this is a pressure valve. It gets pulled. When the pressure is more than enough, it gets pulled, and the excessive pressure is released through this pipe. So this was all that was done with the cold side of the turbo. So now let's go on to the turbo. So this is the main turbo. This is the part that is in the exhaust side, and this part is in the intake side. So why we have opened this turbo and what is the problem with this turbo is that the bearing was loose. I think the seals inside have gotten loose, so that's why we have opened it up, and I'm gonna repair it anyway, so I decided to show it to you guys as well. So guys, now comes the bit critical part. You have to very carefully open up the turbo, because if you apply excessive pressure to it, may break or it may get damaged, and that will be a lot of problem. So I've already loosened it up again, so I'm just gonna open it up. It's gonna come off easily, but you have to be very careful. Make sure you clump this side well with everything you have, and then you have to open this up. You can open it with a plus or a screw if it's already loosened up. Mine one has been loosened up, so it will come off very easily, as you can see. And another thing to make sure is that this is a Hilux turbo. I haven't opened many other vehicle turbos, but this is a anti-clockwise screw, so it is opposite to a normal screw. So the place where the normal screw closes, it opens at that side. So make sure that you apply that trick, because if you open it up like a normally screw, it is just gonna tighten up and you won't be able to open it up. So it's a bolt. So if you open up it like a normal bolt, it's gonna tighten up. You have to open it in the opposite direction, the direction that tightens for the traditional screws. It has the opposite direction. So if you tight it, it will open, and if you open it, will get tightened. So here you go, it opens in the opposite direction, and I have opened it up. Here you go. So after opening it, what else I have to do is that I have to carefully push this side of the turbo out. So I'm gonna just do it hammering a little bit slowly. So as you can see, like this. Because I have opened it up already, it comes off easily. So, but when you're opening turbo for the first time, this is a bit hard to come off. So make sure you are patient and you clump the downside very well, so it will come off easily. Otherwise it may break or you may damage the screw as well. So I've opened it up, it will come off easily. So here is our cold side. Now I have to pull it off. This is a bit difficult to come off, so I will do. So I'm gonna get a pin and an empty box to make sure it comes off easily. I'm gonna use the pin to hammer it down slowly. So here the wheel has been removed. This is the cold side of the turbo, and this is the wheel. They usually got worn up because they are spinning at a very high speed. This one is also a little bit damaged, but it's fine for now, it can work. So here's our wheel, and now we're gonna get the other wheel as well. So this is the exhaust side, this is the other wheel that was on the exhaust side, and there's just a shaft inside. So another important thing is that these are the turbo seals. You must have heard that the seals have worn off. So these are the seals. They prevent mobile oil from going inside the turbo, both on the exhaust side and the intake side. So these are the seals. This is one of the seals. It has been worn off. We have to replace it, and the other seal is in this part. So I'm gonna open this thing now. So now you need a star key here. So I have already loosened them up, so they will come off pretty easily. I'm gonna use the star key. Here I go. This one is a bit tight. These bolts usually come easily because they get a lot of heat most of the time, so they are already loosened up and there is no dirt or grime inside or rust, so that's why they come off easily. So I've opened it up, and 4 bolts are here. Using the star key, opened up. Now I'm going to separate both of them. Again, you need to hammer it a little bit, nice and slow and easy, and it will come off. So here you go. So now I have shown you the other seal, which was on the wheel. So one seal is here and the other seal is on this part. So this is the other seal. It prevents from the oil from going inside the cold part of the turbo. So as this is attached here, so it prevents oil from going to the cold side, and this one is attached on the hot side right here, so it prevents the oil from going to the hot side. The oil is basically inside the turbo to cool it off and to make sure it runs smooth, because you know, if there is no oil, there is a lot of heat, it may get worn off. So anyways, these are all the parts of the turbo. I have shown them to you. This is also a stopper. Let me show you where it was. So there was this bearing. I forgot to show it to you guys. So here goes the bearing, and this is the place where the stopper goes. Okay, I'm showing it to you so you won't forget it. And then the stopper has to go into this place. You attach it like this, and you can see the stopper is right here. I don't know what it is called, but I'm gonna call it a stopper because I'm also a DIY guy. So these are all the parts of the turbo I have shown to you guys, and you can see. So that's why. So these are all the parts of a turbo, and I've shown you completely how you can open a turbo, and the similar way you have to fix it. Just be gentle and careful, and there would be no problem. So that's all for today. I hope you liked the video. This was a very detailed guide because I'm also a DIY guy and keep doing stuff like this. So it was very helpful, I know. So make sure you subscribe to my channel if you like it. And that's all for today, viewers.